Now, before we get to lock of the week, hand up. I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm a man.
Sure, it happens. We're all wrong.
Baez sucked. Javi Baez sucked this week. He was awful, as he always is. He's always awful.
Yep. Could have seen that one.
Why did you believe me? Why did you think that Javi Baez was going to be good? Don't listen to me. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you? I'm like in last place in every fantasy league I'm in. Just kidding.
Don't say that. No, I'm curious. I was in the camp, and I still am. If the Tigers, I mean, I know they're playing better, and we just talked about it, right? I still feel like there's a player in him who can go 15-15 and hit 220, and that's probably his peak, his ceiling right now.
15-15 hit 220. That's not good enough for any fantasy team.
No, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
They said some crazy stat on the broadcast that if Juan Soto got out like 500 times in a row, he'd still have a higher on base percentage than Javi Baez.
It's probably more than that. What? I mean, yeah. No, it's too bad. The decline in him has just been unbelievable. Like, nobody saw that coming 4 years ago.
I mean, I saw it coming when he was on the Mets and he was like thumbs downing everyone. And then they gave him that ridiculously overpaid contract. Now, I didn't think he'd be this bad, but I didn't think he was worth the money that the Tigers gave him. Who's your lock of the week? I have someone else.
So I did have Dalton Varsho on here, but I took him off because I felt like that was a little. I talk about him a lot. I like him. I'm a big fan of Varsho. I still feel like he's probably in most lineups anyways, even though he's been better. But my lock of the week is a guy who hasn't been doing great. This is more of a feeling thing for me, and that's Dansby Swanson for the Chicago Cubs. If you have him and you're between him and I don't know who else, maybe, a similar guy, I'm going to roll with Dansby. And again, it's a feeling. I've been watching him play. I know he struggled defensively a few times. He's already made 4 errors this season, but today he hit a home run, and it was beautiful. It was magnificent. He looked great. He looked locked in at the plate. He made a couple great defensive plays, and the reason why I also felt this is because now Nico Horner has really started to get it going, and he was a guy who started off extremely slow. So maybe it's kind of like one of those. Okay, now that Nico's getting going, now it's Dansby's turn. We're going to get Suzuki back. We're going to get Belly back. Like, I think we know he's not this bad of a hitter. Like, he's not going to blow the cover off the ball all the time, but I expect better days. And I think they are coming very, very soon.
I will say about Dansby, I did read an article that he is getting hotter, and a reason to believe. There was this article on MLB.com, reason to believe why Dansby Swanson will get it going or something like that soon. So yeah, it's a good call out. My guy's definitely in your lineup, but people listening to this, maybe they play DFS, daily fantasy or whatever, or stuff like that, or you're looking at obviously gambling and stuff like that. It's all kind of in the same realm, in the same field. So he's definitely in your lineup if you own him, but he's going to have an incredible week. And I mentioned him earlier because I mentioned that if this guy got out 500 times in a row, he'd have he'd have the same on base as Javi Baez. Juan Soto is playing against the Astros this week. So, set off your alerts. Juan Soto versus the Astros. You know what happens when Juan Soto plays the Astros. My boy, Emmanuel Babari, shout out, is going to be on the call for the Yankees. And I was just talking to him, and we were talking about the series, and we were excited. And so I'm going to be working with him. I'm going to be producing the games. He's going to be broadcasting the games. Hey, if we swapped, I wouldn't mind. But no, just kidding. He's great. He's really good play-by-play dude. So if you want to listen to Yankee radio, listen to my boy Manny. But yeah, Juan Soto. This is what matters. Juan Soto. He is fantastic, and he crushes the Astros. He loves beating the Astros. He had the big 3-run double today for the Yankees to win their game and sweep the I don't know why I can't say their team. The Detroit Tigers.
I was going to say, you said it earlier. Yeah.
I know. So big stuff coming from Juan Soto. He's always great, but expect him to go bat 500 in this series and hit a bunch of home runs against Houston, because he tends to do that. Especially he's going to be facing Justin Verlander for the first time in a while. So I expect him to hit a home run off Justin Verlander. There, I said it. I think that's
your DFS. That's what you're going
to do. Wednesday or Thursday's game. I think he's going against Verlander, and I think he's going to homer off Verlander. So anytime home run, bet it.
Did you lose money then on the Javi Baez anytime home run? Did you even put money down on that?
I did not. That's how, by the time it got to the Yankee series, that's how broken I was. I was like, this dude stinks. Wow. I didn't even bet it. I was like, man, this guy really sucks. I
Yeah,
was
he
still
is.
holding out hope. I was really hoping that he would do well against the Yankees. I really thought he would. But then the Tigers came into New York and just sucked for 3 games in a row. They couldn't score for 3 games.
Verlander is scheduled to go Tuesday.
Okay,
May
so I
7th.
said Wednesday or Thursday. So naturally, he's pitching Tuesday.
Right? That's May
I
7th,
knew that
right?
the
So that's
second
the
I said
5th?
Wednesday
Yeah.
or Thursday, I was like, yeah, it's definitely going to be
It's
Tuesday
probably
now.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.